Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot, and by popular demand, this will be our first installment of our weekly series. Every Wednesday, we will be coming out with some betting tips and tricks video. Today, the topic is bankroll management. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about what is bankroll management. We're going to talk about unit sizes, parlays, when you should do them, when you shouldn't do them, as well as hedging and a couple other things. So stick around. This is a weekly series, like I said, so leave in the comments down below what you guys want to see next week, next Wednesday for the video, and I'll be happy to cover that, one of the most requested topics, whatever that may be, and we'll break it down. But let's get into today's topic, bankroll management. If you're new here, click that like and subscribe button. But first, let's talk about what exactly is bankroll management. It's very vague, and it's kind of meant to be like that. Your bankroll is however much money you have in your betting account. So for some people that do it full time, that's a lot more. For other people that are novices just getting started off, that might only be $50 to $100. But when I think about my bankroll and whatever, if I'm not doing it full time, just doing it for fun and as a hobby, and maybe it turns into something that I do for a lifestyle or for as sort of a stream of income, your bankroll needs to be amount of money when you're starting out that you're okay with losing. No, I'm not saying you're going to lose all of that money. I'm not saying if you put in $100, $200 today, you'll be out of all of that in a week. That's exactly the opposite, and the opposite point of this video. We're trying to help people build their bankroll and turn $100 into $200 in a month. Sort of stuff like that, and it's all about managing your money, and that's why we're talking about bankroll management today. Like I said, don't come into gambling just throwing 30 to 50 to 100% of your account onto one bet. No, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to build your bankroll. Sure, if you get lucky right off the gate, you could just start doubling, tripling your account, but that's exactly the opposite of what this video is. You should be betting a conservative amount to continuously build your bankroll. That's the whole point of bankroll management. That's the whole point of what we're talking about. So wait until you learn the ropes before you start putting more and more money on your bets. But the first topic, we have to get into unit size. So what exactly do you mean by unit size? And this is one of the most frequently asked questions that I get is, what is my unit size? And I try to stick to around 3 to 5%. I normally don't want to have any more than 5% of my account on one single bet. So if my account's $100, you're probably going to start with $5. And that sounds low, but as you build it up over time, it will become more and more. If you're at $500 balance, then we're talking like $25 and et cetera, et cetera. Some people have different bankrolls and some people have different unit sizes. When you're starting out, 3 to 5% is a good number. But let's talk about the people that do it full time, the people putting thousands of dollars on their bets. Most of these people, one, they only win about 55% of their bets. And when you think about, they're only winning 55%, that means they're still losing 45%. But winning 55% is still a very good ratio. If you're winning 55 to 60%, you should be very proud of everything you're putting in, assuming these are all like even plays, like minus 110 odds, plus 100, stuff like that. Obviously, if you're winning 55% of the time on like a minus 250 money line, stuff like that, you're probably not going to be profitable in the long run. We're talking about just straight bets, minus 110, right around even odds. You're winning 55 to 60% of the time. You're doing a great job. But those people, the best gamblers in the world, best sports bettors in the world, they're only putting 1% of their bankroll down each and every night. So sometimes they might have $100,000 in their account. They're only putting $1,000 on it. While that might sound a lot to you, if you think about that, if you had $100 in your account, they're only putting $1 on it. So they've obviously built up their bankroll over time, and while there might not be a lot of those, unique big gamblers that do this for full time, watching these sort of videos, it still is helpful to kind of put it into picture as to what exactly you should be using for your unit size. Our second topic, we got to talk about parlays, and there's no one out there that doesn't like cooking up a parlay, just getting in there, and you can add in 1 bet, 2 bet, 3 bet. You just see that number continuously double and double and double, and you're like, dang, I could put $10 and I could win $250. Wouldn't that be awesome? I love parlays, and who doesn't? Who doesn't love the thrill of placing a parlay? But at times, to build your bankroll, parlays are not the way to go unless you're doing it at such a minimal unit size, like a quarter of a unit, if that, to win back 1 to 2 units. It's just not an efficient strategy to building that bankroll, which is everyone's goal and everyone's reason why they're watching this video is to improve and continue to become a better sports bettor and build their bankroll and start making as much money as possible. But like I said, there's a reason everyone likes crafting parlays. There's a reason the FanDuel sportsbooks of the world push out same game parlays. There's exactly reasons behind it, and it's because they're so profitable for these sports books, for Vegas. When you look at it, and these are the numbers over the past 20 to 30 years, for every dollar wagered on a parlay, Vegas or the sportsbook brings back 30% of that dollar. So if you bet $100, their expected return is $30 on that parlay. When you look at straight bets, which is just one bet straight up, maybe a -110, they're only bringing back 5 cents of every dollar. There's a huge profit margin, huge profit gap in these two things, and that's why I normally advise to not play too many parlays. It's just not the way to build your bankroll. Sure, it's a way to take your account from $100 to $500, but it's also an easy and quick way to take your account from $100 straight down to zero, and then you're having to reload, put more money into your account, which is the exact opposite of what we're trying to do. So now you're probably thinking, yo, this guy hates parlays, and I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying for the new gambler out there who's just betting strictly parlays and just putting 3 to 4 parlays a night, and that's all they're doing. It's just not an efficient way to do it. When you look at a parlay, and I see plenty of comments in our Discord, which if you haven't joined the Discord, link in the description, but people will go 4-1 on a parlay, and they'll lose money on the night. When if you went 4-1 in the regular gambling world, that's 80%. Like I already talked about earlier, 55% is a great rate of return, great winning percentage. If you're going 4-1 and not bringing home money on the night, you got to fix that, because that's 2 to 3 units that you could be bringing back each and every night. You keep doing that over and over again, I guarantee you your bankroll will continue to increase, and you'll see much more profit in return than if you were just betting parlays each and every night. So we've talked about unit size, we've talked about parlays. So the last but not least, we're talking about hedging. And hedging, we're not going to go too big into the deeps and depths of hedging, but hedging is a useful strategy when you're trying to build that bankroll if you're a conservative bettor out there. So what exactly is hedging? And I'll give an example. Hedging can be like, let's say we'll use the Lakers and the Warriors. Let's say the Lakers are playing the Warriors one night, and the Warriors, for whatever reason, are huge underdogs. Maybe Stephen Curry's out, who knows, and they're plus 500 favorites. So if you bet $100 on the Warriors to win, you would win back 500. So let's say we placed that bet. We bet 100 to win 500 on the Warriors plus 500 money line. Let's say the Warriors are cooking. They're absolutely beating up on the Lakers. And you know, the odds have completely switched. Now you got the Warriors at -250 to win the game, and then you got Lakers plus 200. This could be an extreme spot to hedge. You could put $200, let's say $200 on Lakers money line, and then you're guaranteed to win. It's a conservative way to do it, and while you might be reducing the amount of profits that you can make, you're also guaranteeing your return. And like we all talk about, sports, it's so unpredictable. There's ebbs and flows, roller coaster rides every single night. It's always great to be able to bring in a consistent and guaranteed profit. So like I just said, we had $100 to win 500 on the Warriors money line. The odds switched. Now we put $200 on the Lakers at plus 200 on their money line. Now we're guaranteed a $300 return no matter the outcome of the night. You don't have to sweat. You don't have to sit up and just look at the TV and watch every single missed shot. You don't have to sweat. You know, if the Warriors win, you're taking home your $500 minus the $200 you placed on the Lakers. So there's your $300. If the Lakers come back and win, you're taking home $400 on their win minus the $100 on the previous Warriors line. That's $300. And I can guarantee you, everyone that's watching this video would much rather have $300 than $0 or minus 100, where what would have happened if the Warriors would have lost outright, gave up a big lead, something like that. That is a way you can use hedging. But another way you can also use hedging is with parlays. And I know I just trashed parlays. I mean, I didn't mean to trash them, but I talked about being hesitant about placing them. But hedging can be a great strategy with parlays when you think about it. Let's say you place a 3-leg parlay, and let's say it's to make, I don't know, $10 to win 60. Let's say the first two legs of the parlay are down, they're cashed, and now you're just sitting there waiting on the third line, and you're like, you know what? I got Luka Doncic over 30 points, and they start tip off at 10:30. It's 10 o'clock. I already have these 2 lines in. Basically, if Luka hits this over, I get $60. If he hits the under, I don't get anything. That's another way you could easily hedge. You could easily put maybe $30 on Luka's under, and boom, there you go. There you got a $20 to $30 gain no matter what happens. You can go to bed happy and be confident and guaranteed a profit and move on to the next day. I'm not saying hedging is the exactly way to do it, but for those people that are conservative, risk averse like myself, it's definitely a strategy that you can use to consistently build your bankroll and guarantee some profits and margins and positive cash flow each and every night of the NBA season or any sport that you're betting out there. So to recap, I hope this helped you guys at least in some way in terms of bankroll management and what is the best tips and tricks you can do. Just to recap, unit size, limit that to no more than 5%. Obviously you can, if you feel more confident about other bets, you can make those 5%, less confident, make those 2.5%, 1%. whatever you guys want, be comfortable. That is the one thing. Be comfortable with whatever you're gonna lose. Sure, it's nice to win, but you gotta be comfortable with what you're losing. You don't wanna be angry going to bed at night because, dang, man, I put too much money on that line. You don't wanna be chasing bets at the end of the night. That's exactly the opposite of what we're trying to do. We're trying to become better gamblers, and everyone can improve. There's no right or wrong way to gamble. Well, there are some wrong ways you can gamble, but there are a lot of right ways and a lot of good practices that you can do to increase your bankroll and manage your money and consistently see your account turn from $100 today to $300 a couple weeks from now, and so on and so on. Betting is something that has brought together this whole community, and I really, really appreciate everyone's support. Let me know what you guys want me to cover next week. I've been considering some risk and reward, whether you're trusting your gut or going with the numbers. There's a lot of different topics we can talk about, and I want you guys to let me know down in the comments down below while you click that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys again for all the support. I'll be back next week for another Wednesday video of betting tips and tricks. Let me know what you want me to cover, and I'll see you guys in our normal videos, our player props for the NBA and spreads, as well as our normal live stream at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for all the support. At this moment, we have over 700 people in our Discord community, unreal support, and we just crossed the 2,000 subscriber mark. You guys have been killing the support. I appreciate it. Check out the rest of our betting tips and tricks video if you are new to the channel, and I'll catch you guys again later. Peace.